Ready to get plugged in, friends? Because this is now Wait a Damn Minute, the segment where we take stories ripped from the headlines and the internet and read between the lines and ask, hold the hell up. Now, what is going on? What's really good? I'm Nicci Noir, the plug, the decoder, and your favorite professional side-eyer. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to believe K. Michelle may be one of the greatest chaos coordinators the internet has ever seen. And listen, I mean that respectfully because sis thrives on chaos and shock value. Y'all saw how she set Club Shay Shay on fire after casually revealing her husband Caston is allowed to hunch other women as long as he doesn't pay their bills. And then she admitted she enjoys watching him hunch these women, and she enjoys it.
Bill.
So you want him to just poke?
Poke and go. What do you mean? What do you mean? If men gonna be men and they need the feeling doesn't include paying bills.
To somebody that's like, okay, you know he do. You're not watching though, right?
I would if that was offered to me. Sometimes I do like.
You hold on, time out. Let me get a 20-second time out. I don't need a full minute time. I need a 20-second time out to regroup right quick. You mean to tell me you could watch your man
I have several times.
beat somebody back? You get up on that?
Maybe it's weird, but I kind of like it.
So now you can't just casually drop information like this on Al Gore's internet and expect we the people to move on. The timeline has not known peace since, and I swear Shannon looked like his soul left his body. Did you see how he glitched and he needed a moment to recalibrate so he could just, his head literally exploded right before our eyes. But let's keep it a buck. I think Kay knew exactly what she was doing because one thing about Kay, she understands shock sells, chaos trends, controversy keeps people talking. Whew, and she has given us a whole lot of shit to talk about. Now, speaking of chaos, let's get into how Kay shared with her good Judy, Jason Lee, about how she finessed and finagled Bravo, an NBA coach, her longtime on-again, off-again man, Caston, and her Real Housewives of Atlanta storyline all at the same damn time. And when I say K. Michelle was playing emotional chess while everybody else was playing checkers, I definitely mean it. Somehow, after securing a peach, introducing Bravo execs to this NBA coach she promised TV time to, she was man swapping, y'all. She had this man ready to propose, all while pressuring Caston into finally marrying her, blindsiding Bravo executives, leaving the coach on red and in the dark, and she still ended up spiraling over oysters on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, we got a whole lot of mess to unpack with K. Michelle's name all over this crazy baggage. Now, before we begin, this video, remember, is commentary based on public interviews, public reactions, social media discourse, and what aired publicly on Real Housewives of Atlanta. This by no means is harassment. We are not bullying. We are taking a look. We are pausing and we are unpacking K. Michelle's mess. Now let's talk about this whole finessing Bravo, Operation Finesse Bravo execs, because remember, Kay sat down on Jason Lee's show and she revealed that she and her now husband Caston, they grew up together and they had been off and on for 10 years seeing other people. So they was dealing with each other, also dealing with other people. So there's that. And during that time, so this is where things start to get messy. Kay initially told Caston she didn't ever want to get married. So Caston, he's chilling, taking his time, not feeling pressured, seeing other women. Then years pass. No ring, no aisle, no meet me at the altar in your white dress, no courthouse, no nothing. They even appeared on Marriage Boot Camp together, and he was still dragging his feet. No signs of real commitment. So this is where Kay apparently...
Bring it down, because my head will start spinning. I'll chop you on your trachea.
Try it. Try it. Try it. With me if you want to. It's not a good day. Okay? Now back to that one.
Shaking the table.
He said, oh, we gonna shake the table. So she goes on Queen's Court looking for love to make Caston jealous. So she goes on the show. She's seeing and dealing with all of these men. Of course, no sparks fly because Caston has her heart. So according to her, she said he needed to see that she was still desirable. She just had to let him know, I'm desirable. Men still want me. So of course, Queen's Court doesn't pan out the way that she's expecting it to. So she says she starts receiving DMs from two good-looking men. Now, while this is happening, she's offered a peach on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So hold on. This is where the story starts sounding like a Bravo fever dream, because one of the men in her DMs is an alleged NBA coach and former Memphis Grizzly. We are trying to find this man. The internet super sleuths have been searching and digging. They cannot find this man. ChatGPT can't even find this man. So, Kay, we need to know who the hell this man is. I know she's not going to tell us, but damn, I'm really curious on who Mr. Memphis Grizzly is. Y'all, who Mr. Memphis Grizzly is. So what does Kay do? She takes this man and she talks him into filming onto Real Housewives of Atlanta with her. And of course, Coach is excited. He's thinking, hell, new relationship, new show, new love, more street cred. And apparently he's telling the executives he wants to propose to her. So Bravo is excited. They are thinking about this whole romantic storyline, how they're going to set up this proposal. Meanwhile, Kay is still communicating with Caston. And according to her, this is what she tells Jason. She's on the phone with Caston telling him somebody else is ready to give me what I want. And then put the icing on the cake. Her daddy called Caston, putting the full court pressure on this man, telling him, you better marry my daughter. You better marry my daughter. Y'all done been together this long. Me and her mama married. Your parents married. You better make an honest woman out of my daughter. Pressure finally got the best of Caston. He folded like a deck of cards. And Kay tells Jason that he flies out to Tennessee on the next thing smoking and they get married at the courthouse. Yes. Now hold on though, because this story gets better. Mr. NBA, Mr. Memphis Grizzly has absolutely no idea that this shit is happening, which means Kay is out here simultaneously a whole new wife and a whole almost fiance. So she had a man and a husband at the same damn time. Can we talk about Kay finessing and finagling her husband, her fiance to be, and Bravo? So all shambles. This whole thing is just, it's a scheme.
A scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bullshit.
I feel that Todd and Kay set up to come at Bravo with the bullshit. So Kay is a new housewife, got a fake fiance. This is crazy. Oh, it gets crazier because days later, Kay tells Jason she has to fly to New York to meet with Bravo executives to nail down the final details of her and Mr. NBA's storyline. So executives think they're about to discuss the NBA coach's proposal storyline. But what they don't know, Kay has her actual husband, Caston, hiding behind a wall. Now hold on, this sounds like a whole ass scene out of a Tyler Perry movie. So Bravo thinks, okay, where's Coach? And Kay is basically like, I brought my husband. So everybody's thinking, oh, the coach is the husband. Absolutely the hell not. Kay says husband. Caston comes walking out and the room gets as quiet. You could almost hear a rat piss on cotton. So Kay goes, this is my husband. Bravo executives are like, who the hell is this man? It's basically like, Harpo, who this? Kay is like, this is my husband. So just imagine all this shit is happening, unfolding. Not a camera in sight is turned on. NBA coach is still in the dark. And Kay is telling Jason, who is flabbergasted, that she is trying to now figure out how to tell Mr. Memphis Grizzly that she has a husband. That she has a whole ass husband. Meanwhile, this man is thinking that he's about to appear on Real Housewives of Atlanta with one K Michelle. That's not happening. So anyway, she ends up finagling Coach by just sending him a text that's saying, I love my husband. And Coach is really like, you love your husband, what does that mean? You know, like, hey, I know I'm about to be your husband. And she just keeps saying, I love my husband. So she basically tells him that she has gotten married. We really don't know. She was kind of vague on how, you know, that whole situation played out. So I don't know. Is Mr. Memphis Grizzly going to come out and let us know his side of the story? Because remember, there are 3 sides to every story. There's Kay's side, there's Mr. Memphis Grizzly's side, and then there's the truth that lies somewhere in the middle. No, it's like we don't even know if K Michelle is being emotionally strategic or if she just thrives in chaos. Basically, she's giving us Bravo Batman villain because the setup, cinematic. Now, here's where things take a hard left. The oysters. Yes, the oysters. You guys saw the scene with Kay and the ladies on the road trip in Texas. You guys saw it. They were at dinner. Now, this dinner should have been completely normal, but this is Real Housewives. There's nothing normal about this show. So during dinner, the ladies are having a good time. They are sitting down, they're talking shit, opening oysters, doing regular housewives foolishness. And at some point, Portia picks up an oyster and says, "Oh, this one is clean." The ladies, what do? They giggle. They start talking about vaginas, because that is what they do. They're always doing and saying something sexual. So this is not out of the ordinary. Laughing, they're giggling, ha ha ha. It's a fun ass time, right? Supposedly. This is Portia here. We're talking about sexually fluid Portia, who now has her oyster being played with on the regular because she has a girlfriend. You guys know who Sway is. We've seen Sway and Portia. We've seen the pictures. Except for Kay. Now hold on. Kay, this brings up, this is a touchy subject for Kay because y'all remember her ex-boyfriend put it out in the atmosphere about her poor hygiene and said that it was a little tart and tangy. So her ex making these comments about her hygiene have never left her mind, but I didn't even remember this. So she basically never lived it down. Now, Bravo stans are saying that Kay heard the oyster comment, and through her lens of old humiliation, her ex talking about her cookie crumbling and being stanky, it just brought up old embarrassment, old internet trauma. And honestly, that's where this thing stopped feeling like regular shade to me, because to everybody else, it was just oysters and champagne. But to Kay, Miss Rashida got bags, her husband's a girl, her career is over, all over the world. To her, it feels all like public mockery. And this is where reality TV people starts to get dangerous, because when you mix unresolved trauma, public humiliation, paranoia, cameras, and housewives dynamics, you get emotional chaos. You better run and duck for cover. Things only got worse the next morning because at brunch, Kay shows up 3 hours late. She sits at the table. Her face is red. Her eyes is red. Her energy is off. So what's wrong? So messy Shamia asks, Kay, are you okay? And at first, Kay tries to play it cool, but Angela starts putting the full court press on her, saying, Kay, remember last night at the table, you said you don't feel safe. Could you elaborate on that? Now, hold on. because the energy at this table shifted immediately when Angela started asking Kay those questions. She started speaking, then she started bawling, and basically tells the ladies, y'all say y'all care about people, but y'all are plotting on my downfall. Excuse me? According to Kay, she's telling the ladies that somebody called her and told her that Portia, Drew, and Phaedra and some of the other ladies were plotting and planning on her demise, plotting on her downfall. Now, as one would, y'all know that meme out there, that gif out there with the lady trying to solve the math equations? That is me. That is Bravo stands everywhere, because we're wondering, Kay, what the hell are you talking about? Plotting and planning your demise? Who, what, when, where, how, and why? Why? Why are we plotting? Why are they plotting on your demise? Now, I'm sorry. Plotting your demise is insane. It's giving, we're missing a few sandwiches out of this picnic basket. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, not a scandal. And if you watch the scene, look at Shamia's face. Now, the cameraman cannot tell us all that goes on, but baby, they work with that camera, and it seems like whenever some shady, shiesty shit is going on, they happen to always know who the culprit is because they zoom in. If you look at Shamia's face, it's giving guilty. It's giving, I pulled Kay aside and I was telling her something because I still feel a certain kind of way because I don't have close proximity to Portia any longer. Portia and I are no longer best friends. We had a rocky season during season 16. Now I need some muscle to help me battle Portia. And this is one of the ways, if I use K Michelle. This is me thinking this. But if I use K Michelle to my advantage, I can start getting back at Portia the way that I want to. Look at Shamia's face if y'all don't believe me. Maybe it's a conspiracy theorist in me, but that is what I believe. Shamia looked like, oh Lord, this done got out of hand. Kay, I told you this in confidence and I told you not to say nothing, but you're opening your damn mouth. The whole thing gave, like I said, Shamia fed Kay the information. Now Kay is spiraling out of control. And see, this is my thing. Housewives women spend so much time expecting betrayal that sometimes they start creating betrayal where none exists. And K Michelle, she gives emotionally hyper vigilant chaos coordinator. Like, this woman seems exhausted by her own thoughts. And honestly, I think years of public embarrassment, internet jokes, relationship chaos, industry drama, the bad BBL, the botched BBL, and constant scrutiny have created somebody who sees hidden attacks everywhere. She feels like she's catching strays from every which way. Because again, to everybody else, it was oysters, it was champagne, it was drinks, it was the ladies being freaky like they usually do. But to Kay, this is psychological warfare. But wait, there is more. We find out Kay was apparently 3 hours late to brunch because she was online tweeting about Portia. And whoa, baby, things got a little intense. There was a Twitter war that got started. Kay starts calling Portia a coward, talking about go naked hair, calling it synthetic, calling her a bimbo, calling her a coward. And honestly, the energy started feeling less like hurt woman and more like you low-key want to come for Portia's crown. That's what it's giving. Now hold on, because this is where Portia actually stood 10 toes down, because she hopped on the Twitter and she saw the shit talking. So Portia basically tells Kay, stop tweeting from 2 doors down. Come down, say it to my face with the cameras rolling, because this is how we do it on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Clock in, Kay. That's basically what Portia is telling her. So this felt very old school Atlanta Housewives. Like, you got a problem with me? Pull up on me and let's talk about it, okay? But then Kay starts suggesting Portia may have been dealing with one of her exes. So Portia's trying to go high. Kay's going low. She want Portia Mayweather to come out, I promise. Because this is now feeling like insecurity, paranoia, and competition all colliding at once. And then, to make matters worse, it's like Kay is clocking in everywhere else except for on the show. On the show, she is trying to give us holier than thou, high and mighty housewife who's better than the other housewives. But she goes on this podcast, and the podcast host asks, how are things with you and Portia? Kay says, F. Portia Williams. What? I'm sorry? F. Portia Williams, the one who did your introductory scene on Real Housewives of Atlanta, reintroducing you to the social scene and introducing you first to Bravo fans? That Portia? You said F that Portia? Who was gracious enough to film with you first? What? Is she crazy? Now the internet is split into camps. Some folks are out here believing Portia absolutely knew what she was doing with the oyster comments. Other people think Kay is projecting years of old insecurities onto a completely innocent moment. And honestly, that's why this whole story is so fascinating, because this doesn't even feel like regular housewives beef anymore. This feels like paranoia, hypervigilance, old humiliation, reality TV strategy, competition, and emotional chaos all colliding at once. Now, personally, I don't think K. Michelle is cool for Cocoa Puffs. I think she's deeply emotional, extremely reactive, very intelligent, she's charismatic, and she's addicted to chaos. And honestly, that's exactly why she makes incredible television. This is exactly why she makes incredible television, just not for Real Housewives of Atlanta. She does not fit the criteria of the housewives that we are used to seeing. They are bad, they are bougie, they read for filth and fun. They are not taking the extreme measures that Kay has taken thus far this season, causing just division and turmoil. Kay refused to shoot while they were in Texas during a couple scenes because she didn't have her glam squad. So she and these other new housewives, they are trying to finesse and finagle camera time. They crapped on Cynthia's trip. Like, come on now. Cynthia Bailey, she is Real Housewives royalty, and she has come back to grace us with her presence as a friend. She is a class act. She is what the Real Housewives are made of. Don't believe me? Why would one Adrienne Maloof want to align with Cynthia and do a tequila? Why would Crystal, whose husband is a movie executive, why would she want to partner with Cynthia and do a podcast? Cynthia is the real deal Holyfield. Okay, you could learn from her instead of crapping on her trip. So yes, the crying, the Rashida's got backs, that's all great for love and hip hop, but this ain't love and hip hop. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you have to clock in. You have to be ready to throw shade. You have to be ready to stand 10 toes down, to go toe to toe with the likes of one Portia Williams, with the likes of one Phaedra Parks. And Kay, you are not showing up. You told Jason Lee that the housewives came to you at the right time. You called this a blessing. If this show is in fact a blessing, if Andy Cohen reaching out to you and handing you a peach on a platter has been a blessing to you, then you need to walk in your blessing, and you need to clock fuck into work instead of clocking in everywhere else on every podcast. You're talking to Shannon Sharp. You're giving him what you're not giving Bravo. You're talking to Hot 97 saying F Portia Williams, but you're not saying it to her face on the show. You're calling her a bimbo. You're doing all of these things. We don't know who the hell you are. And I'm going to have to say, we don't know who the hell you are. And I'm going to be honest, we really haven't missed you since you walked away from reality TV. So you need to either shit or get off the pot, get off of our Bravo screens, because we are different over here. Bravo fans are different. We're not like Love and Hip Hop fans. We are different. There are certain expectations that we have of our housewives, and they fulfill them. And right now, baby, you are not fulfilling. You're not fulfilling the housewives code of honor. You're just not. All right, plugged in friends, I'm off my soapbox. I want to hear from y'all. I truly do. Do you all think K. Michelle is genuinely paranoid, or do y'all think years of public humiliation and industry mess have made her overly defensive and a mean girl? Because whew, something just ain't right. Anyway, I'm Nicci Noir, the plug and the decoder, and your favorite professional side-eyer. Because baby, we gonna always take a look. We're going to pause, we're going to read between these lines, and we're going to unpack the mess. So I'm going to get ready to edit this video and get ready to unpack some more mess. Thank you to my 6 subscribers for putting a little battery in my back. I'm feeling like the little engine that could. Thank you for coming along the ride. If you are new here, please don't let this be your first or last time. Come on into the Plugged In family. All right, y'all.
Chasing their looks, glowing.